Clause 2 of part 3, which is stating that a member of institute shall be deemed to be guilty of professional misconduct if he doesn't supply the information asked for. I means information. Information asked for, or does not comply with the requirements called for, or means requirements. So, a member of institute shall be deemed to be guilty of professional misconduct if he doesn't supply the information asked for, comply with the requirements called for. By whom? Who is asking this information and who is requiring us to comply with the requirements? By the institute, that is ICI, council, or any of the committee of our institute. Director discipline, board of discipline, disciplinary directorate, quality review board, appellate tribunal. Only these authorities are covered under clause 2. So in clause 2, suppose Mr. Y, he is a CA in service, a member of institute. He does not comply with the requirements asked by what? Director discipline. He will be deemed to be guilty of professional misconduct. Mr. X, who is does not providing the information asked by what? By quality review board. He will be deemed to be guilty of professional misconduct. So this clause is also simple, which is stating that a member of institute shall be deemed to be guilty of professional misconduct if he doesn't supply the information asked for or does not comply with the requirements called for by the institute, any of its council, committee, director discipline, board of discipline, disciplinary directorate, quality review board and appellate tribunal. Only these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 authorities are covered in clause 2. So I have a question. Institute asked Mr. X to surrender the COP because of an offence which has been committed by X. X doesn't comply with the requirement. So can X will be deemed to be guilty of professional misconduct as per clause 2? Yes, because he does not comply with the requirement. Or a practicing chartered accountant, he has not filed the information with respect of the paid assistant with the council, which is required to be filed. That is which was the information which has been asked by our council. He didn't do the same. So can we treat the chartered accountant as guilty of professional misconduct? Yes, because he has violated clause 2. Then he will be deemed to be guilty of professional, not violated. He will be deemed to be guilty of professional misconduct as per what? Clause 2 of part 3, first schedule. Then I have another question. A CA in practice, they have a repeated request from our secretary of the institute for to file form 8. But X, that is the practicing chartered accountant, failed to file the same. That is form 18 is not submitted by chartered accountant, but our secretary of institute is making repeated query for the same, or repeatedly they are requiring the X to file the same. Can X will be deemed to be guilty of professional misconduct? Yes, okay. He will be deemed to be guilty of professional misconduct. Then my another question is that, can a member of institute deemed to be guilty of professional misconduct? Member of institute deemed to be guilty of professional misconduct if he failed to supply the information asked by RBI, SEBI, ROC, government, court. That is, can we state that a member of institute shall be deemed to be guilty of professional misconduct if he failed to file the information asked, or if he failed to comply with the requirements called by any of the court, RBI, SEBI, ROC, government? No, these authorities are not covered as per clause 2, but this will be covered in other clause, that is other misconduct. Okay, so this is what clause 2 of the part 3 first schedule, which is stating that a member of institute shall be deemed to be guilty of professional misconduct if he fails to supply the information asked for, or fails to comply with the requirements called for by any of the institute, council, committee, director discipline, board of discipline, disciplinary directorate, quality review board and appellate tribunal. This is what clause 2. Now we will